Hi, my name is Meg Edwards and I'm a GTD coach, and we're doing a series on GTD for beginners. And in this part of the series, what I thought would be very beneficial is to go through the Getting Things Done book for you and to point out some of the main ideas that I think might be really helpful in supporting you with installing and implementing and integrating the Getting Things Done methodology. Um, I personally learned the methodology a couple of years before the book came out in 2001. And, one of the things that people say is, many people read this book and they can install and implement it with grace and ease. And there are other people that it can be kind of overwhelming because David's really laying it all out. And what I thought I would do was break down some of the main ideas and the main components to kind of help you kind of pull out some of those pieces that I think are just really important to really kind of latch on to. And in reflecting about what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do this, I'm not going to go in order. I want you to see that you're already doing some of these pieces. And I'm actually going to start with chapter 9, which is the fifth phase of workflow, because so many people come to us and their first thing that they say is, I'm having a hard time prioritizing. Well, that's the fifth phase. You have capture, clarify, organize, reflect, and engage. And so the first four phases is what David is laying out, that if you install the first four phases, it's going to be easier to prioritize. But again, that can be kind of daunting. So I wanted to actually start with the prioritization piece to be able to pull out some of the main ideas by talking about your calendar, because the place that I always sometimes will start with clients is the calendar, because everybody has the calendar and it's a pretty trusted place, right? If you were going to make an appointment for November 5th at 5 o'clock, you wouldn't keep that on your mind, right? You would put that in your calendar to review that at the appropriate time to remind you, oh, you've got that appointment. But then you have space in between your meetings and appointments. And how do you use that space, right? So, for example, today I'm free between 1 and 3, okay? So how do I want to best use that time? Well, David in chapter 9 talks about 3 ways of prioritizing, and I just want to point them out so that when you're working on your GTD system, you can think about these 3 concepts, because I think that they get lost because they're so embedded in chapter 9. And I wanted to bring that to the forefront first. And the first is the 4 criteria for choosing what to do, right? So where am I? I'm in my home office. How much time do I have? 2 hours. What's my energy like? It's great. So then what's the value of doing this action versus that action? So setting up your GTD system is helping you with the 4 criteria for choosing what to do. Another way to prioritize is to think about that space. So again, I have between 1 and 3 open today. And one way that I can prioritize is the threefold nature of work. And we're going to include that article on the threefold nature of work, which is, okay, do I want to spend that time from 1 to 3 doing predefined work, looking at my next actions list, or maybe I blocked out some time in my calendar to do some specific work between 1 and 3? Do I want to define my work, which is, do I want to clarify and organize, which again is this clarifying and organizing workflow map? Do I want to spend time clarifying and organizing meeting notes or emails or paper or things that are on my mind? Or do I want to deal with that unplanned that showed up? And that's the threefold nature of work, which I think is such a main concept to hold on to. And again, it's just kind of embedded in chapter 9 about the threefold nature of work, but that's another way to prioritize that space in between your meetings. The third way to prioritize is through the horizons, right? So sometimes people say to me, oh my gosh, I look at my next actions list and I just really don't know how to prioritize. Do I want to send this email? Do I want to make this phone call? Do I want to draft this document that I have to? And you just kind of look at your ground level and you're just kind of like not sure kind of what to work on. Okay, so then bump up and look at your project list and see if there's a project that you want to move forward. And if you're not quite sure about that, then bump up again and look at your areas of focus and responsibilities, your job description. Do I want to be mom right now? Do I want to work on my house? Do I want to work on training? Do I want to work on business development? Do I want to work on my finances? So you're looking at your roles and responsibilities as a way to prioritize. You could go look at your goals and your vision and your purpose to prioritize, and that's prioritizing through your horizons. Okay, so that's 3 main ways to prioritize. The 4 criteria for choosing what to do, threefold nature of work, and the horizons. The book, all those chapters before chapter 9 is helping position you to do the prioritization. And so I wanted to start with that because that's kind of a main idea of why, you're capturing, clarifying, and organizing and reflecting and engaging. And so I'm going to be in the series looking at different chapters and kind of helping pull out, I think, some of those main ideas that get kind of lost or looked over while you're working on setting it up, setting up your systems and finding the right tool and getting your project list in place and your next actions list, which we've done lots of videos on. But this is going to be pulling out kind of those main ideas and those main concepts for you while you're working on installing and implement the Getting Things Done methodology. So I look forward to hearing from you. I can totally course correct this series. But I really thought that I didn't want to go in order because you're already reading the book in order. And I wanted to kind of shake it up a little bit and have you latch on to some of these concepts so that while you're going through the book, those concepts now are going to be pulled out for you to hold on to. So I look forward to hearing from you and have a wonderful day. Cheers. Bye. For more GTD resources, please visit gettingthingsdone.com and David Allen's YouTube channel. For more information on GTD coaching, please email us at info@gtdfocus.com or visit our website at gtdfocus.com.